Welcome to the BDI Create.today podcast. This is a podcast where we will discover the who, what, where, when, why, and how you can be creative or have more creativity. And together we'll explore the extraordinary impact creativity can have in your life, in your heart, mind, body, and soul. So welcome. I am so excited that you are here with me today. And if we haven't met yet, I'm Beth Buffington, a licensed artist, digital illustration instructor, and a creative coach living just outside the windy city of Chicago, Illinois. But I am mostly someone who is curious about how creativity can weave its way into nearly everything in our lives. And each week we are going to look at one or more of these sparkly facets that make up the ever-changing kaleidoscope that is creativity. In our first episode of BDI Create Today, we discovered that everyone is or should be creative. And we found that the innate creativity that we are born with and have as children doesn't have to fade as we grow up. We can, in fact, push back those barriers that the world has built about who gets to wear the badge that says this person is or is not creative. We also touched briefly about how creativity appears in us and affects us all very differently. And this is where we begin today. So, my friend, as we've already discovered, you are creative. So, knowing this, how do you or how can you see creativity in yourself and in your life? So, how do you add that creativity to your life? Now, first of all, you must realize that creativity is not about painting that next great masterpiece or crafting a symphony or writing the next great novel. It's about finding your own rhythm that lets you voice your creative message through activities that bring you joy and fulfillment. Creativity is not about talent. It's not about perfection. It's not about being successful. It's about finding the joy in an activity that brings you fulfillment. So, to be creative, all you need to do is do things that are creative. So if we embrace creativity as an important piece of our weekly routine, creativity can actually become a part of every piece of our life, like the way we fix dinners, or how we plan vacations, or how we respond to difficult emotions, or even how we solve problems. Okay, that is easy for me to say, but how do you find your creative voice? And then what? Today we're going to look at a couple ways to see and do creative things in your life. First, seeing is believing. Wondering how you can either experience more creative inspiration during your week or possibly discover how to fan a creative spark that feels a little weak? I want you to consider this. How much of your week is spent on autopilot? Now, the definition of autopilot is doing something automatically without having to think about what you are doing. So now let's just take a moment to review your week, your daily schedule, your weekly schedule. What do you do that you have accomplished or done so many times that now your brain just goes on autopilot and you no longer really need to look or experience and think about the task or the event that you were doing? So, what could some of these mundane or repetitive tasks or events be? Let's think about maybe driving to your office or the grocery store or any place that you go on a regular basis. Do you sometimes take the same route when you walk your dog? Are you going to the same park? Do you follow the same sidewalks? And then, when was the last time you paid attention to yourself as you brushed your teeth or made coffee or tied your shoes? To put yourself out of autopilot, you simply need to change up your routine or take a different route to the places that you go repeatedly during the week. Think about and notice your surroundings as you get dressed, as you make coffee, as you drive to work, to school, to the grocery store. All those mundane and repetitive tasks that you can do without paying attention or paying a lot of attention. And then think about how you can be more in the moment and be present with what you're doing. Try doing a few things to these repetitive moments that will take you out of the ordinary. Like choose a restaurant you've never been to during the week. Make dinner with a new recipe that you've never tried. Light some candles for dinner on a weeknight. And occasionally, for just no reason at all, get out the good china, even if you're just having macaroni and cheese. Maybe some evening, read a book instead of watching television. And here's something to try. Have a day where you do nothing on social media. There's no doom scrolling on your phone. So much autopilot happens on your phone. So much time can be completely evaporated doing nothing on your phone. So, as you concentrate on being in the moment and not being on autopilot, purposely think of the colors, the patterns, the textures, the sounds, the tastes that you're experiencing firsthand instead of through the images posted by others on social media or what you're seeing on television or by not even being in the moment at all. When we become more mindful in our moments, when we allow ourselves to see our world firsthand, we often discover some really surprising things. Betty Smith, the author of A Tree Grows in Brooklyn, which is, by the way, such a good book, she wrote, "Look at everything as though you are seeing it either for the first or last time, and then your time on earth will be filled with glory." Such a great quote, because seeing is the first step to realizing what affects us and fills us with creativity. Is it something that we see, like a beautiful sunset that we might not have seen because we were driving on autopilot? Is it the pattern that raindrops might make on a window? Is it something you hear, like a child giggling or a beautiful song that has really meaningful words? Is it something that you will behold, like a theater experience that just is memorable? A magic act that makes your brain ponder things? Is it something that you have tasted or touched? Like going and trying your regular restaurant, trying its new daily special? Or at the end of your day, just being mindful and thankful of the softness of your pillow as you go to bed. What might you find that inspires you and helps you see creativity during your day? In order to know, in order to discover, you must be awake and aware to what you are experiencing. So be on the lookout. Remind yourself to see what you are seeing. And that sounds funny, but we often overlook beauty because we are sunk deep in the ruts our routines have made for us. So if you're living on autopilot, you will arrive to the store or to work without knowledge of the trees and flowers or the dogs and the people that you passed along the way. Autopilot will not help you collect the information that is going to spark inspiration for creativity. Now, let's just take a moment for a word from our sponsor. And hey, that would be me. Are you looking for something new to learn this year? Let me tell you about all the fun the Create Today team is planning starting on January 22nd. First, you are invited to come to my famous free Procreate workshops. My workshops introduce you to drawing and painting with Procreate on your iPad. Now, there's a workshop date and time that will be perfect for you. So come and create with me. It's fun, it's easy, and it's free. And then join me personally for an in-depth exploration of digital art with my winter class of Learn the Art of Procreate. This online course will teach you everything you need to know to create your unique art on your iPad. And you can do this. You're going to learn at your own pace. And I will be there to cheer you on no matter your experience. Ready to discover more about your creativity? Go to www.bdi-create.today and I will send you some great information. Just go to www.bdi-create.today. Welcome back. Now that we have discussed the dangers of living on autopilot, spend this week realizing when autopilot might be happening in your day. Make a list of what it was you were doing, and then make another list of interesting options that you can do to change up your routine so that you won't be on autopilot and so that you will be living in the moment instead of falling into that zombie state that autopilot provides. Shake off the temptation to zone out and look around you. Notice the sights, the sounds. Look for colors and patterns and textures. Soak in the moment and be curious about collecting any interesting information that can spark creativity for you. So now let's explore another way to recognize creativity and inspiration when it's happening. I want you to think of a time you enjoyed something so much that time seemed to evaporate. Now, this would be an event or an activity where you didn't have to work hard to focus and you were fully engrossed in the moment. This experience would be an event where you were the maker during the activity, like painting, singing, acting, crafting, sewing, or you could be the beholder watching the activity, like theater, films, concerts, that kind of thing. So what were you doing? Was it a craft? Were you making art? Were you making music? Maybe it was a theater experience. Were you listening to music or watching a great film? Maybe it was even a spreadsheet that you were creating, because believe it or not, that can be super creative. Or were you writing, journaling, sewing, quilting? Creativity is found during experiences where your brain releases you from the cares of the world and allows you to run free with your imagination as you create. You get in what is called a flow state, where you are engrossed in creativity and time just whooshes away. According to Medical News Today, a person is in a state of flow when they are totally immersed in a task or activity. When a person is in flow, they may not notice time passing. They may not think about why they are doing something or judge their efforts. Instead, they remain completely focused. Now, if you're thinking, Beth, I might be drawing a blank about what this could be for me, or how do I even know if I know what my creative passion is or could be, so I could even get myself in this flow state? Well, then, my friend, if this is you, I have good news for you. The answer is really simple. All you have to do is have some fun. Have fun discovering what lights you up. Have fun learning new things that seem intriguing to you. And then have fun experiencing something for the first time. So try an art class you've been interested in. Start a journal. Learn a new instrument. Take a dance class. Learn a new sport. Hike a trail you've never explored before. Go to an unusual concert or theater event that you have not experienced. And keep your mind open during these new experiences. And remember this, you don't have to be great at any of these new things. You just need to have fun. Anything worth doing is worth learning. And remember, children need to learn to walk. They're pretty awful when they first start learning how to walk. They fall down a lot. They look awkward, but they keep working at it. They fall down, they get up. They do not judge themselves. They do not feel imposter syndrome. They just know that they want to walk, and so they learn. Learning anything new is going to feel awkward, and you might feel out of place or even uncomfortable. But if it's something that your mind cannot stop thinking about, if when you are practicing this thing or going to this event and time just seems to slip away, keep working. Getting better takes time. And my friend, you do not need to be amazing at your creative passion to get the benefits that creativity provides. You just have to like doing the thing. So make a list of these creative activities that you would like to explore and start something new. You know, today is always a great time to begin something new. Then just begin. Just get started and allow yourself to absorb and let your brain play and let your imagination run wild. When you find an activity that starts a fire in you, when this is something that you fall in love with, then, my friend, you have found a creative outlet that will bring about the creative goodness that we are exploring. Mary Lou Cook is the founder of the Santa Fe Living Treasures. And she has this quote that I found fascinating. She said, "Creativity is inventing, experimenting, growing, taking risks, breaking rules, making mistakes, and having fun." What's on your list? Are you dancing? Are you singing? Are you playing the harmonica? Are you practicing magic tricks? Are you doing some community theater? Have you taken up drawing or painting, pottery, sculpting? Oh, let me know. So here is the takeaway for today. This week, we're going to make some lists. First, make a list of all the activities and the times during your day or weekly routines where you find yourself locked in autopilot. Then next, make a list of alternative ideas that you can do to pull yourself out of your autopilot rut. How can you make your schedule different or more interesting? And then remember to be awake and aware of your surroundings so you can stay in the moment instead of being in an autopilot trance that keeps you from living a creative life. And then last, make a list of creative activities you would like to try. These are activities that are going to help you discover a creative passion that might be lying dormant in you. Is it pottery, sculpting, glass blowing, taking voice lessons? Maybe it's signing up for my free Procreate January workshops. That's a great idea. So make your lists and then get started engaging your ideas into your daily routine to discover when and where and how you can create today. If you're a seasoned artist, I hope that this episode has helped you see where living in autopilot might be keeping you from seeing and collecting your next great creative idea. And if you're someone who has struggled with the label of I am or I am not an artist, I hope you have found how to feel more creative by considering how to experiment with different types of creativity that might kindle that creative fire in you. So make your lists and go have some fun. Here's to many happy, creative moments in your day. And my friend, join me again for the next episode of Create Today. Each week, we're going to discuss new ideas about what, where, when, why, and how creativity can be added to and used in your life. It's pretty exciting, and I'm so glad you've joined me here today. Imagine what you can create today. Until next time, stay creative, my friend. Oh, here's one more note from me, your sponsor. Are you interested in exploring your creativity by using Procreate on your iPad? Why don't you get my free Kickstart video and get started? It gives you a beautiful tour of how to use Procreate to create your own art. You'll get information about brush libraries, layer and layer options, explanations of the tool icons, and much more. So go to www.bdi-create.today/Kickstart to get my free Procreate Kickstart video.